What up, fam? It's your boy, Slenderboy 2024, streaming to you live. Yeah, so I've been thinking for a while now. I've tried to come up with something good to do for the 100 subs special. I recently got 100 subs to the channel, wanted to do something to kind of celebrate everything. And we had the recent Game Awards hosted by Geoff Keighley, Game Awards 2025. I thought it was kind of a disaster. I didn't like the Game Awards results, and I've wanted to do my own Game Awards for a while now, so here we go. I think this is going to be the 100 sub special. I think this is what we're going to do. I think you guys can be the judge. I think I can do it better. I think I can do it better than Geoff Keighley. You guys tell me if I'm doing it better or worse. Oh, the wind. Vanny. I got my two co-hosts here. We got Gigi, the guinea pig. We got Vanny, the rabbit from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. My two co-hosts. We're always going to have... I'm going to need some help with this special event. So, you know, instead of Vanna White, we've got Vanny White, Vanessa White, Vanny the White Rabbit. There's a joke in there somewhere. There's definitely a joke in there somewhere. I've already kind of botched the punchline, but anyway. But yeah, let's talk the Game Awards. So the Game Awards are bigger than ever. I saw this one stat, and I need to double check it, and I can't believe how big the Game Awards really are now. I mean, they're bigger than the Oscars. They really are. I was going to say they're the Oscars of video games, but they're bigger than the Oscars. The Game Awards have more views than the Super Bowl. The Game Awards have more views than the Oscars. I looked up a recent stat. So the last Oscars, there were 20 million views when they were streaming. That pales in comparison. This Game Awards had 154 million viewers. 154 versus 20 million viewers at the Oscars. The Game Awards is destroying every other award ceremony as far as streaming views. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I have to at least give Geoff credit for that. I have to at least give him credit for that. Before I go into this year's Game Awards, I kind of want to go back in time and just give my thoughts on all of the Game Awards in the past, because I kind of have issues with all of them. So let's kind of go back. I couldn't find anything before 2014, so I feel like that's the year that they started, right? I think that's the first year. But 2014, we have all these entries. Dragon Age Inquisition is what won. I think that's bullshit. I always thought that was bullshit. Like Dragon Age, I know Dragon Age is huge, but like Inquisition was kind of had a lukewarm reception as far as that sequel. Here's a good judge. Like, we're gonna go through all of these winners, right? Tell me which game is actually still talked about today, aside from that year. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, Dragon Age was blowing up in 2014. Who talks about Dragon Age now? Veilguard, didn't that kind of bomb too? But yeah, no, Inquisition, it was a flash in the pan. People don't really care about that game anymore, so I don't think it should have won. My vote out of these choices would actually go to Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2, a Wii U exclusive. So there you go, the Wii U killing it once again. Let's move on to 2015. We have Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I hear good things about that game. Let's see, Bloodborne. I'm very curious about Bloodborne. That is still locked to the PS4. I plan to play Bloodborne at some point. That's the Souls-like I'm actually most interested in playing, believe it or not. Let's see, Fallout, Metal Gear, Super Mario Maker. That's where my vote goes for another Wii U exclusive. Wii U killing it again, still in 2015. People shit on the Wii U, but look at this. Look at how there are Game of the Year award, entries. There are nominations going to these Wii U exclusive games. So yeah, Mario Maker was amazing. The only issue with Mario Maker is it came out at the very end of the Wii U's life. A lot of people did not play that game because a lot of people were just waiting for the next Nintendo console at that point. So I think Mario Maker should have won. No offense to The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is also playable on Switch, and I heard that the Switch port's actually not bad. 2016, that was a bad year for Nintendo. There is no entry. There's no Wii U game, no Nintendo entry for 2016. Overwatch, Doom, Inside, Titanfall 2, Uncharted 4. I remember how huge Overwatch is the key word here. Overwatch 2, I think, is kind of failing now. It was big at first, but Marvel Rivals, that Overwatch clone with Marvel characters, has ironically completely taken over Overwatch. No one plays Overwatch anymore. But in 2016, it was pretty big. I understand that winning Game of the Year. My personal pick actually would be, I'm always going to be slanted, biased towards indie games. I'd actually favor Inside by the people who made Limbo. Also playable on your Switch. 2017, this is a big year. Nintendo, they were kind of lying dormant for a year, but 2017, they really brought it, man. We got Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, two nominations from Nintendo. This is a huge year. PUBG got a nom for Game of the Year. Are you kidding me? Who in their right mind is playing or even thinks about PUBG in this day and age? PUBG, that's crazy. How did that get a nomination? Horizon Zero Dawn, that got snubbed. Horizon always gets snubbed. I always feel bad for Horizon. Persona 5, that was another 10 out of 10 RPG. That got snubbed. Breath of the Wild, a Wii U game, actually won Game of the Year 2017. That's crazy. Believe it or not, I would actually go for the Switch game Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, that's the problem. There were two 10 out of 10 Nintendo games that year that were like fighting for Game of the Year. I think they should have given a tie, honestly. Like that should have been like an exception. That was such like a razor thin. That was so close. I actually am surprised that Breath of the Wild beat Mario Odyssey, because that was like the premier Mario game on the Switch. Like that was like a console seller. But once again, a Wii U game. Breath of the Wild takes the trophy. Hell yeah, go Wii U. All right, 2017 is over. 2018, we have God of War 2018 remake, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, Spider-Man for PS4, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know a lot about all these games. I know people love God of War. That's a little surprising to me. I don't know. And Celeste, that's an indie game that I've heard is very, very good. I want to play Celeste. I'm actually going to give it to, and I've heard good things about Monster Hunter World, but I don't really play those games. I'm going to give it to Spider-Man PS4, because that's a licensed game. That's a tie-in game. Like the fact that a Spider-Man game, like I know now we're in this like post-Spider-Man PS4 world, but like go back to 2018. Go back to like this idea where like you hear a new Spider-Man game is out and you roll your eyes, because superhero games always suck, tie-in video games always suck, licensed video games always suck. This was the first one, Spider-Man PS4. That was like a console seller. That was a reason to get a PS4. Was that Spider-Man game? Like that was a killer app, 10 out of 10 Spider-Man game, and its impact is still felt. We have Spider-Man Miles Morales, we have Spider-Man 2. You know, these games are legendary superhero games, legendary licensed games. I think it should have gone to Spider-Man PS4, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, and anyway, fuck the Oscars. Oh wait, we're telling the real stories here. Oh my god, is that Josef Fares, the man who can't pronounce his own name right? Look that up. Josef Fares is invading my stream. Oh my god, Vanny, do something about this. Vanny, see this man out. Vanny, see this man out, please. Vanny, please see this man out. Josef Fares is disrupting my stream. He is being a nuisance. He is invading the Game Awards, just like he invaded Geoff Keighley's Game Awards. I see Geoff smiling at me. Jeff's laughing at me. I took shots at Geoff. Now Geoff is sicking Josef Fares on me to Vanny, keep these men in check. Oh my god, let's try and get through this stream without any more interruptions. 2019, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I've heard that is a very, very good game. I'll probably never play it. That's the problem I have with these Souls-likes, is like, you know, I really can't justify spending full price, like $60 for a game that I know I'll never beat it. I know I'll never get very far. I'm not going to get past like the second level. I'm going to get killed after like 10 minutes in. You know, I'm so bad at video games, and I'm trying to get better, trying to get good, but it's like these games don't really appeal to me, because I know I can't progress in them. And so the closest I'd come is maybe I'd watch like a YouTuber like Markiplier play it or something. And I'm going to once again be a hypocrite and contradict myself, because what did I just say earlier in the stream? Bloodborne. Yeah, I do want to play Bloodborne, but that is still locked to PS4. Hopefully we get a PS5 remake one day, like they did with Demon's Souls. But that's on FromSoft. Oh my god, I lost my paper. I blame Josef Fares. Josef Fares is disrupting my stream. He's disrupting everything. He's ruining my life. Josef Fares, what a character. What a character. Oh no, I got dirt on it. It's fine. The stream must go on. I got mud everywhere. It's fine. The stream must go on. The wind is so strong today. Oh my god. The wind is so strong. Okay. Where were we? Sekiro won Game of the Year. Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Outer Worlds. I don't know. I kind of have to give it to Death Stranding. I'm surprised it didn't win Game of the Year. Death Stranding, if you haven't played it, that's a masterpiece. And they did a director's cut for PS5. I have to play that. But yeah, that's a really cool game. 2020, we have to really talk about 2020. That was a crazy year, obviously for a lot of reasons. But yeah, no, Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year. I don't think it should have. We have to go into like how Last of Us 2. This will come back. this will come back because we have to talk about something very similar happened both 2020 and 2025. But yeah, let's start with 2020. Last of Us 2 swept. Last of Us 2 won every single award known to man. It also won Game of the Year, of course. Animal Crossing: New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades. I'm between. Hades is an amazing amazing indie game, an achievement for indie games. I kind of want to give it to Hades, but Ghost of Tsushima is a really really good game too. It's a banger. It's basically you're playing out a samurai film, and you can even choose to play it in like black and white with like a film grain on the screen. And it's made by an American. Here's how you know it's so good. It's an American-made samurai game that has been given praise from Japan. Sucker Punch got praise from Japanese studios, who basically said like, "Oh wow, like you did it. Like we didn't think you Americans could make a Japanese, samurai game, but you did it." So like that alone. Last of Us 2, the first Last of Us is legendary. That's a 10. Last of Us 2, there's a lot to be said about that game. I do not think it should have won Game of the Year. I don't know what kind of happened, but yeah. I don't know. Ghost of Tsushima, I'm giving it to Ghost of Tsushima. Let's go into like the smaller categories here. Best game direction, Last of Us 2. Best narrative, Last of Us 2. Best art direction, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, wow, that's not Last of Us 2. Best score or music, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was a big deal, too. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I still have to play that. But that's a remake of a legendary RPG. People really love the remake, actually. So that was a big achievement, too. So, like, 2020 had a lot of good games vying for Game of the Year. I'm actually surprised at what won, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, something that wasn't Last of Us 2 won an award. Best audio design. Oh, there we go. Last of Us 2. Games for Impact. I still don't understand what that award means. Tell me why. Never heard of it. Best performance. Laura Bailey as Abby from Last of Us 2, of course. And that's where I kind of okay. Each game should only get one entry for a nomination, if you know what I mean. This was kind of hypocritical where Geoff allowed both the voice actors for Abby and Ellie. Both of those voice actresses got nominations for Best Performance in Last of Us 2. And I'm like, that's not really fair. Like, that's not fair. You should have taken the best performance from that game. Decide between the two, and then have that game win Game of the Year, or excuse me, have that performance win Performance of the Year. Anyway, it's a cheap way of them increasing their chances of winning, basically. Now that you have not just one nomination, you have two nominations in the pool, so to speak, that people can vote for. You double your chances of winning. And indeed they did. So anyway, best indie game, Hades. Oh, not Last of Us 2? Last of Us doesn't count as an indie game. Otherwise, I'm sure it would have taken that category as well. Best indie game, Hades, well-deserved. Best mobile game, Among Us, well-deserved. Innovation in accessibility, I don't know what that means, but apparently it means Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 wins again. Best action adventure game, Last of Us 2. Player's voice, that's an interesting one. So let's look at player's voice. That's kind of like the one thing that general audiences like myself can vote on. And it's interesting that how player's voice usually differs from like the actual Game of the Year. So player's voice said Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm once again kind of reinforced in my own opinion that yeah, Ghost of Tsushima should have won. And then best Last of Us 2. So Last of Us 2 is the best Last of Us 2. So there you go. Moving on, 2021, we had a bunch of cool entries. It Takes Two. By It Takes Two. I made that game. Joseph Fares. Oh no, fuck the Oscars. It Takes Two. It Takes Two. Not Last of Us 2. Oh my God, Vanny, control this man. Vanny, see this man out. Vanny, please see this man out. Okay. It Takes Two. I'll give it to him. A legendary game, Joseph. Deathloop, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Resident Evil Village, Ratchet and Clank. Honestly, I'm gonna give it to Joseph Fares, especially since it's an indie game, and I'm always kind of biased towards that. Yeah, It Takes Two should have won, and it did win Game of the Year. I approve. The first time I've actually approved of a winner so far, if you're paying attention. Now moving on to 2022, we have, man, that was a pretty big year for games as well. God of War Ragnarok, I'm surprised that didn't win. Plague Tale Requiem, no idea. Horizon Forbidden West. So Horizon 2 once again got snubbed. Stray, Xenoblade 3. I've heard Xenoblade 3 is like one of the best RPGs ever made, so like that's well deserved. I'm planning to play that at some point. Elden Ring, of course, took the gold. Very anticipated game. Another FromSoft game written by George R.R. Martin, who's best known for Game of Thrones. Elden Ring had all of the hype going. Honestly, like Horizon got snubbed. If it wasn't for Elden Ring, if Elden Ring came out a different year, I really do think Horizon 2 would have won Game of the Year. Well, either that or God of War Ragnarok, because that was another banger. I plan to play both eventually. Moving on to 2023, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. A lot of, Resident Evil 4 remake. A lot of really good games this year as well. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. All of these are certified bangers. Honestly, except Alan Wake 2, I don't know how that got on the list. Who's talking about Alan Wake 2? Who's talking about Alan Wake 2 in either that year or this year or any year? I have to go with Spider-Man 2 for PS5. That game is so cool. That game is a PS5 console seller for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Baldur's Gate 3 would be considered a console seller, you know what I mean? But Spider-Man 2, Mario Bros. Wonder is also really good, and Resident Evil 4, and all of them. But Spider-Man 2, once again, these are legendary superhero games, legendary tie-in superhero video games. I have to give it to frickin' yeah, no, I want to give it to Spider-Man 2. Because once again, it defies all odds. It's a tie-in video game. It's a superhero video game that doesn't suck. That's actually very good. That's a Game of the Year contender. 2024, my favorite Game of the Year awards. There were so many good games. Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantatio. I've heard that's another 10 out of 10 RPG. The one thing I disagree with, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, that should have been like a special separate category. Elden Ring can't win twice. It can't win Game of the Year again. Like that's bullshit, Geoff. That was glorified DLC. That was just a big content update. Shadow of the Erdtree. That was not a separate game. If it was a sequel, if it was a true sequel, then I would allow you to put that there. But that should not have been on Game of the Year anywhere because it's not a new game. It's not. It's a content update, Geoff. Look it up. There's a difference. But regardless, it is not on the same level as Astrobot. Astrobot absolutely deserved to win Game of the Year. I'm surprised it did win Game of the Year because it's a 3D platformer, and it basically revitalized and brought back the idea of like, remember 3D platformers, how they were like huge on the N64? Yeah, they're back, and indeed they are back. I see all these indie games going after like the Astrobot model, the 3D platformer model. And I mean, that's my favorite type of genre, so I am eating good right now. Banjo-Kazooie fans, ukulele fans, we are eating good right now. Astrobot it's a perfect 10. I still haven't platinumed it. I plan to platinum it, but I have beaten it regularly, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. It's a PS5 console seller. I believe it's still a PS5 exclusive. They've talked about making a PC port, but I don't know how well that would work. And honestly, the whole thing is themed after the PS5, so it wouldn't really make much sense to be on any other console anyway. Okay, we finally caught up to the present year, and things are going to get really interesting, guys. So basically, I'm going to go over everything in detail, the Game Awards, Geoff's Game Awards in 2025, and then we'll get to my Game Awards, because I have my own Game Awards ceremony, and you guys can decide what you like better, which results you like better, which results you agree more with. But I'll try and be fair and unbiased as much as I can. 2025. Surprised to no one, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. You're gonna hear that name a lot. You could actually make a drinking game, and I plan to do that with some friends. We'll get some friends together, we'll get some beers, and we'll watch the Game Awards again. And then every time someone mentions Clair Obscur Expedition 33, you take a shot, and you'll be dead. You'll be dead from alcohol poisoning by the end of the stream. But yeah, Clair Obscur absolutely blew up this year. It is a phenomenon. It won Game of the Year. Yeah, everything else got snubbed. I don't know. All of these games were very deserving. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, Hollow Knight 2, Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. What was this year about 2s? Everything's a 2. I don't agree with this Game of the Year. Out of these, we'll get to my Game Awards, but out of these choices, a lot of my choices were not even on these lists. But out of these choices, I really have to go with, honestly, damn it. Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, Hollow Knight 2, all of these were very anticipated, hyped up sequels to beloved games. But I actually have to go with Donkey Kong Bonanza, because that is a perfect spiritual successor to the Donkey Kong Country games. It is the most rareware game that I've ever seen that is not actually technically by Rareware, but it has a lot of Rare DNA in it, and it is absolutely a Switch 2 console seller. It's a masterpiece. It really is. So that's my pick out of these choices. But yeah, Clair Obscur, it swept. You can't defeat it. Clair Obscur. So as bad as Last of Us 2 was in 2020, Clair Obscur is actually worse. It actually won even more awards. Last of Us 2, I think, won 7 Game of the Year awards, and that was like the previous record holder. Clair Obscur won 9 Game Awards. Like that's too much, guys. Like people got tired of hearing that name. And you're going to get tired hearing that. Let's go. Best Game Direction, Expedition 33. Best Narrative, Expedition 33. Best Art Direction, Expedition 33. Best Score/Music, Expedition 33. Best Audio Design, Battlefield 6. That's not Expedition 33. Huh. Someone must have been handed a Benjamin under the table or something. I don't know how they got that through. Best Audio Design. I mean, wouldn't you think if Expedition 33 has the best score and music, it also have the best audio? Battlefield 6 somehow. I'm gonna have to play Battlefield 6 just because this is like the GOAT. This is the game that actually took on Expedition 33 and won in a category. Every other category where Expedition 33 was a choice, it won. So this is the one time that a game actually defeated it. Like, that's crazy. And it was Battlefield 6. I guess Battlefield 6 is a really fucking good game. I don't know. Games for Impact, I still don't know what that means. South of Midnight. That is like the one Xbox exclusive that I'm kind of interested in. That looks really fucking cool, actually. Look up South of Midnight. Best Expedition 33. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. That would be the best Expedition 33. Innovation in accessibility, Doom the Dark Ages, sure. Best multiplayer game, Arc Raiders. I've heard that's really good. I don't know much about it. Best sports or racing game, Mario Kart World. Once again, another banger for Switch 2, another console seller for the Switch 2. The Switch 2 just came out. I feel like it just came out yesterday, and it already has 2 like killer app games: Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I mean, that's 2 games right there. That is reason enough to get a Switch 2. I don't know. People are kind of dogging on it, saying that there's no games for it, and I'm like, first of all, it just came out. Second of all, there are 2, 10 out of 10 games out for it, actually, that are exclusives, that are system sellers. So I must humbly disagree. Anyway, best family game, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yes, I mean, definitely agreed. It should have also won Game of the Year, but that's neither here nor there. Best fighting game, Fatal Fury City, The Wolves, sure. Best mobile game, Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. Yeah, the horse girl anime. I'm watching the anime. The anime is very, very good. I can only assume the games are also very good. Oh, here we go. This made me happy. Best VR game, The Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk. That's a weird way to say Expedition 33. Yeah, no, Expedition 33 is not a VR game, not yet at least. So that's the one category where a game was allowed to win, besides Expedition 33. The Midnight Walk, I've covered this on PS5 Chronicles. That is a fantastic game. It's a beautiful stop-motion animated game. It looks like a Tim Burton movie. You don't have to play it in VR. I did not play it in VR because I don't have a VR headset, but you can just play it like normal. It's a fantastic game. Please check out The Midnight Walk. Best action game, Hades 2. Yes, they had to give Hades 2 a win, or else the fans would fucking riot and burn down the building, the auditorium, because Hades 2 has some of the most rabid fans you'll ever meet. Well deserved. It's a great game. Best action adventure game, Hollow Knight 2, Silksong. And once again, they had to give Hollow Knight at least one win, or else the rabid fanboys would burn down the auditorium. They've been waiting like 10 years for Hollow Knight 2, so I don't blame them. Best RPG. Oh yeah, Expedition 33 is an RPG. Sorry, nothing else can win. Best adaptation, Last of Us Season 2. Last of Us Season 2. It's like how Link keeps getting reincarnated as like the legendary warrior of Hyrule. There will always be an incarnation of Last of Us 2 with 2 in the title, winning an award at the Game Awards. Like, Jesus Christ. I thought we had gotten away from Last of Us 2. No, there's the Last of Us TV show on HBO Max, Season 2. Yeah, best adaptation. And I'm like, really? Really? I mean, I've heard it's a good show, but like so much other shit came out. Like, what about Minecraft? The Minecraft movie made $1 billion. Like, you would think the Minecraft movie, just as far as like financial win alone. Minecraft movie starring Emma Myers starring in Wednesday Season 2. Please watch anything involving Emma Myers. Okay, that's enough Emma Myers fanboying. Most anticipated game, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6. I feel like it's taken like 25 years for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out. Like, is it coming out? Like, by the way, it won most anticipated game last year too, because it was supposed to come out this year, and it didn't. So I don't know. Like, let's take some bets, guys. I feel like it's gonna get delayed again. It's definitely gonna get delayed again, definitely. But my question is it coming out next year at all? I don't think so. I think it either comes out December 2026 or it gets pushed back to 2027. I don't think this game's coming out. I really don't. I don't think it's ever coming out. But then again, that's what people said about Hollow Knight Silksong. So I could be wrong. GTA 6 may be coming out, next year, maybe not, but yeah, people are very hyped for that game. I really don't give a shit about it. I'm sorry, I'm such an atypical gamer. I have no right to be talking about like the Game Awards or any of this stuff because I'm a very atypical gamer. Most of these games I barely know anything about or haven't played. And Grand Theft Auto is a series. I know people love it. I know people love Grand Theft Auto. I never really liked it. The only bit of Grand Theft Auto I played was at a friend's house when I was little. We would, whatever was on the PS2, what was it, San Andreas or Vice City? Yeah, we would go back and forth between those two games. We would just like fuck around, like kill people and like blow up cars and stuff. And like it was fun, but like I don't know. I had no desire to ever like play the story mode or to like play any more of those games. And from what I can see, like they kind of all look the same to me. Again, that's somebody who hasn't actually played them or delved deep into their content, but like I just don't really see the appeal of them, to be quite honest. Like I feel like once you played one, you played them all. But people seem to really like Grand Theft Auto 5, and people are really hyped for Grand Theft Auto 6. So more power to them. I'm just not one of those people. Player's voice. Here's what's interesting. Player's voice, and this is the one time that Dispatch, my pick for game of the fucking year, Dispatch, greatest game of all time. Dispatch was not nominated for any of these categories except for Player's voice, and it lost to Wuthering Waves, a fucking mobile game. But you know what also lost to Wuthering Waves? Expedition 33. Wow, isn't that interesting how Game of the Year winner is usually not the same as Player's voice? Content Creator of the Year, Moist Critical, who voiced Sonar in Dispatch. So that's a win for Dispatch. I'm taking it. I agree. Moist is fire. Please watch it. Please watch all of his stuff. Please follow his channel. I'm actually surprised he won Content Creator of the Year because he's like the only one that I follow. I didn't even know any of the other entries. I didn't see my one guy that I follow. So, but yeah, I follow Moist, so I voted for him actually. Best indie game was Expedition 33, of course. So Expedition 33, it's everything. It's an indie game, it's an RPG, it's everything. So it wins everything. Here's what I really don't like is there were two indie game categories, best indie game and then best debut indie game, I guess from like a brand new studio, right? Well, Expedition 33 is from a brand new studio. So guess what? Geoff let it win twice. It won best indie game and best debut indie game. And then, of course, Dispatch was nominated for debut indie game, but it lost to Expedition 33 because nothing can compete with Expedition 33. That's not fair. I mean, I think that a game should be able to win multiple awards, perhaps, but even then, I think there should be a limit. Like, Geoff, this game won 9 awards. Let another game win in your award ceremony. There should be a cap. In my opinion, what should that cap be? That's where we can disagree. We can split hairs on that, but there should be a cap. One game should not be allowed to win every single. If you were just tuning into this award ceremony and you didn't know anything else, you would legitimately think that no other games came out this year. You would think that only Expedition 33 came out this year because it won everything. Okay, that's not fair. But what's really not fair is you went to the trouble to create 2 different indie game awards to give more indie games a chance of exposure, and then you allowed Expedition 33 to win both awards. What the hell is that, Geoff? What is that? I don't like that. And now we're going to get into something that really fucking boils my blood. Best voice performance. Here we go. Who do you think won? Was it Jennifer English from Expedition 33? Yes, it was. Let's go over all the nominees and let's see what the problem here is. So here's who was eligible to win Best Performance. Jennifer English from Expedition 33. Troy Baker from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Charlie Cox, also from Expedition 33. Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotei. Konatsu Kato from Silent Hill F. And Ben Starr, also from Expedition 33. Expedition 33 was given 3 nominations for 1 category. You tripled your chances of winning that. So big surprise. One of your 3 entries won Best Performance. What the fuck is that? This is that bullshit again. We're like, Expedition 33 has a lot of main characters. We can't just pick one. It's just like Last of Us had 2 main characters, so you get to have 2 entries. That's not fair. Dispatch, by the way, Dispatch had a lot of prominent voice actors in it, such as Laura Bailey. Dispatch wasn't even in this category, but if it was, there are like 7 fucking main actors in Dispatch. How do you choose between Laura Bailey and Aaron Paul? They're both fucking main characters. They're both huge voice actors. How do you choose between Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey? You should have given them 2 entries. Instead, you gave them 0. Oh, well, we needed to make room. You see, we could have probably let other games have entries, but we needed to make room for these 3 entries from Expedition 33. See, that's the code. 33. You get 3 entries. Expedition 33. 3 entries. That's bullshit, Geoff, get your shit together. Geoff, your award ceremony is a fucking disaster. No wonder Geoff Keighley was able to get past your security and disrupt your stream. I mean, he took out Gigi. Look at Gigi's taken out. Vanny's got her hands full trying to stop Geoff Keighley's rampage. No wonder your stream is a joke, Geoff. I mean, Yosef also took over my stream, but I handled him. I have my bodyguards on standby. You apparently don't. You couldn't control Yosef Fares in your stream, but that's on you. But anyway, yeah, no, your stream's a disaster, bro. How did you allow one game to have 3 entries? That's not fair. That's literally not fair. How do you justify that? And then you're like surprised. You're like, oh wow, look at how many entries that Claire Obscure won this year. It's like a record-breaking first. This was a plot. This was planned. This was pre-planned. Claire Obscure was like destined and foretold to win the Game Awards. Like this is how you can tell. Look at this spread. Look at how unfair. Look at how unfairly skewed everything is in favor of Claire Obscure. It's bullshit. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And Moist, watch Moist Critical's video about the Game Awards. He makes a very, very good point where someone like myself, he talks about how people who aren't familiar with this game are now going to be turned. It's going to have the opposite effect. There is such a thing as too much hype, and this is the most hyped up game in video game history. There is such a thing as too much hype, where if you hear too much about a game, where people are saying like, "Oh, it's the best fucking game ever made. It won every single Game Award ever," it starts to turn you off. And that's what's happened with me, where if you're not already familiar with the game, which I wasn't, and you just keep hearing the name Claire Obscure, and like Claire Obscure beats everything, Claire Obscure beats the game that you wanted to win, you're going to start to hate that game. And I do kind of hate this game now. I don't have any interest in playing this game now. It's worked against it. And I think that's going to happen to a lot of people who watch this stream. They're going to hear this name too many times. They're going to get tired of it. They're going to get tired of it winning every category and having multiple entries in every category ever. And they're gonna say, you know what? Fuck this game. I'm gonna play something else. I'm gonna play Wuthering Waves. That's the one game that beat Claire Obscure in a category. Holy shit! I guess it must be a god tier fucking game if it beat the unstoppable Claire Obscure. Oh my god. That's enough about Geoff's terrible stream. Let's get to my Game Awards. So here we have the Slenderboy Game Awards 2025, and I'm going to answer the categories from Geoff's stream, but I also came up with some of my own categories that I think should have been in the stream. And we're going to start here. These are awards that should have been given out. So we have Sexiest Man and Woman. I try to cover my bases here. Guys, tell me how far I am off the mark. Sexiest Man, I just did my best. I don't really... I don't have much of an authority on that. I don't really swing that way. But like Sexiest Man, I'm gonna give it to Moist Critical, who voiced Sonar in Dispatch. I mean, he's a handsome man. He has a cool voice. He is the content creator of the year, and he looks like Jared Leto. He looks like Tron Ares. He looks like Morbius. So I think he has a really cool look to him. Ladies watching the stream, tell me how far off I am. I think he's the sexiest man of 2025. If you disagree, tell me who your nominee is. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. But Sexiest Woman 2025, this is one that I am very confident in. Laura Bailey, legendary voice actress Laura Bailey, very sexy voice, voiced Invisigal in Dispatch. Oh, look at that. Look at that, a little coincidence. 2 people from Dispatch. What a coincidence. See, Geoff, I have my own biases. I have my own bias, so fuck you, Geoff. I want Dispatch to win every award, just like Claire Obscure. I'll bend the rules too. You want to bend the rules for Claire Obscure? I'll bend the rules for Dispatch. Fuck you, Geoff. Laura Bailey, Sexiest Woman Alive, Sexiest Woman 2025. Don't tell Lizzie I said that. Don't tell Emma. Don't tell Emma Myers. Don't tell Lizzie I said that. But yeah, Laura Bailey. She's a legend, most beautiful woman alive. She's voiced so many legendary roles. I've been following her since she voiced her very first voice role, not Toru Honda in Fruits Basket. No. Before that, she voiced Marlene Angel in Blue Gender. If anyone remembers that anime, and I remember it because Blue Gender, it was saying introducing Miss Laura Bailey as Marlene Angel, and I was like, oh my god, this voice actress is so good. I need to follow everything she does. And here we are in the year 2025, and I'm still doing that. So there you go. Laura Bailey, what a queen. Slay queen, Yas queen. All right, Sexiest Woman 2025. Let's move on. I'm reaching the half-hour point. I thought I'd go longer, actually. I don't want to spend too much of your time. And Geoff's stream, how long was his Game Awards? Like 3 hours long. So I'm not going to go that long. I'm going to keep it under an hour, I promise. And we're almost done, actually. So anyway, And as long as, Yosef doesn't interrupt my stream anymore, we should be moving along at a good clip. Yeah, he's pretty subdued. Vanny has him under control. All right, Slenderboy Game Awards 2025. So one category we should have had was the best Telltale-like game. Telltale Games, if you don't know, they made the Walking Dead video game that everyone loves, The Wolf Among Us. But yeah, what game is carrying the torch, carrying on the legacy? So we have Until Dawn, another interactive movie type of game. Until Dawn is a very old game, but it did get a recent remake for PS5. It came out at the end of last year, but the new movie came out this year, so I'm kind of cheating. And I mean, Geoff cheats all the time, so I'm going to cheat. Until Dawn will be eligible, the remake version. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. I know almost nothing about this game. All I know is that it is a Telltale-like. It is an interactive story, like a choose-your-own adventure, and it has a really cool art style. And it came out this year. And I did not do my due diligence. I should have played Lost Records after I get done with Dispatch. I think after I platinum Dispatch, I will play Lost Records because that's a very good segue. That's a game that's very similar. Oh, look, Dispatch. And then followed by Dispatch, and then followed by Dispatch. Well, the winner is actually Dispatch. That's actually, my favorite game of all time. And, Geoff cheated. He allowed Claire Obscure to have 3 entries for one category, so I'm going to cheat one time, just like Geoff did. I'm going to match him beat for beat. So Dispatch actually gets 3 categories because it is carrying on the torch. It is carrying the torch. The company that made Dispatch is actually made from ex-Telltale employees, and so that's why the game is so similar. They are carrying on that Telltale Games model. And Dispatch is a 10 out of 10. Everyone loves it. Everyone that's played it loves it. It completely blew up this year. And it's so sad to me that it didn't take any wins this year from the Game Awards. So for my Game Awards, it's the best Telltale-like game. And it's not the last time you'll hear about this game either. It's not. But yeah, moving on, something that we really need to talk about, and I'm surprised Geoff didn't talk about this, the handhelds. Handhelds are blowing up. Handhelds are bigger than they've ever been. Handheld games are so big right now, and so we need to have a category for best handheld gaming console. Now some of these are older than others. I try to keep it, very recent. So, for example, my favorite handheld of all time, I think I've said this in the past, is the PlayStation Vita. But that's pretty old at this point. I don't think it would really qualify, so I'm not going to put it on the list. If Vita was eligible, then it would win. I'm just telling you right now, but it's not eligible. Instead, we have the Evercade EXP, the Nintendo Switch 2, which came out this year. That completely blew up. That's an amazing console, so that's eligible. It is. The Playdate, goated. Playdate is goated. Anyone who doesn't know what the Playdate is, look it up. It's the thing with the crank. It is so cool. Did you know that the Playdate has a new cover that I need to get? The Playdate has a new cover that looks like a pizza box, and it makes your Playdate look like a pizza box. That's so adorable. No, the Playdate is goated. Playdate might win. It might. What also came out this year was the Xbox ROG Ally X. So Xbox has like a new handheld. I mean, not really. They just put their sticker on it. Like the ROG is like kind of a souped up Steam Deck. I'm interested in playing it. The only problem is the price tag is like $1,000. It is like literally a handheld, like Alienware PC. It's like a high-end gaming PC that you can hold in the palm of your hand. It's too expensive. That's my only gripe with that. And then speaking of too expensive, we have the Steam Deck OLED model. So for all of these, I'm trying to give it like the best chance. So I'm going with like the best version. So the ROG Ally X, that's like the most expensive premium version. So that's what's on there. Steam Deck, there's a lot of Steam Decks, but the OLED model, that's like the most premium model. So I'm giving that the OLED screen. It's beautiful. I have a Switch OLED. The OLED screen is so beautiful. Like you can't beat the OLED screen. And Steam Deck, it's a portable gaming PC. Like it's pretty fire. So Steam Deck has a very good chance of winning. Then we have the Super Pocket, also made by Blaze, same people that made Evercade EXP. Super Pocket Neo Geo Edition. That's the one I previously got. I made a video on that previously. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then last but not least, we have the PlayStation Portal. I kind of debuted that in my 5 Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit review. The Portal. So I don't know if this is eligible. That's why I have a question mark. If it's eligible to win, then I'm gonna tell you right now, the Portal wins, because the Portal is so cool. I use it every day. It's such a cool device. But I don't know if you can count it as a gaming console. What it really is what people are saying. It's a PS5 controller with a screen attached, but it is not like, so. For example, the Switch and Switch 2, they are a console. Like you don't have to connect it to the TV. You can just play it handheld mode, and it exists on its own. You know what I mean? It's independent of anything else. Independent of the dock, okay? But the Portal needs to be paired to a PS5. The Portal is just a controller with a screen that streams your PS5 games from the TV, so that you can like leave your living room and continue to play your games and shit. But the Portal itself is not a console. As much as I love it, I have to disqualify it because it's not a console. It is not independent of the PlayStation 5. You need a PlayStation 5, or else your Portal is just a fancy controller that's just sitting there not doing anything. You know what I mean? So like I have to disqualify it, but if it counted, it would win. But yeah, between all these nominees, I don't know. I mean, Switch 2 blew up this year. Like, what do you think should win? What do you think should win best gaming console? I really have to like think about it. But let's see if we can get some music going. Oh, what an entrance. Oh, it's the Neo Geo Pocket. It's the Neo Geo Hyper Mini Pocket. Oh, by Hypertech Mega. The people that made the Evercade EXP. That's why Evercade EXP lost, because the Neo Geo Pocket is superior in every way. It is cheaper, it is smaller and more compact, it comes with so many more games. Like, it is the best value for your buck. I'm going through it now. Fatal Fury, it comes with all these Neo Geo games that are hard to find, rare, expensive. Fatal Fury Special, King of the Monsters 2, Metal Slug X, fucking Samurai Showdown 2, are you kidding me? Sengoku 3, fucking The Last Blade, Top Hunter, Roddy and Kathy, like, and listen to that, yo, let's just vibe. Best menu music of all time, by the way. But yeah, this thing, it's such a good bang for your buck, it's such a good value. And it comes with all these awesome Neo Geo games. I mean, there's a bunch of these. You can get the Atari one, you can get the Data East one. But I have to recommend the Neo Geo Pocket, especially for the black gold color scheme. Like, look at this thing. But that's the best handheld of 2025. It's my favorite handheld. I know, it's surprising. You thought I was going to vote for the Playdate, didn't you? You really did. You know what happened is I don't have that cover yet. I don't have the pizza box cover. Once I get that, then the Playdate wins. That's how my brain works. So, last category, here we go. This is going to be tough too. The best indie game studio. We have so many good contenders. So there's Don't Nod Studios, who made Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Honestly, and they also made Jusant, a game for PS5 that I love, that climbing game. Honestly, Don't Nod might have won if I actually got off my ass and did my due diligence and played Lost Records. I knew about this game, I just didn't play it in time for my Game Awards. Like, I suck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I have my own flaws. This is my first Game Awards, I'm trying to do better. So next time I'll actually try and play some of these games that I nominate. How about that? That'll be the deal. But Don't Nod, yeah, they made some amazing games. They really did. Team Cherry made Hollow Knight 2, Silk Song. Supergiant Games made Hades 2. Toby Fox is not a studio, he's a person, but he made Undertale, obviously, but also Deltarune came out this year, and Deltarune's blowing up. Some people, myself included, actually think Deltarune is a little bit better than Undertale, which is saying something, because Undertale is a 10 out of 10 indie game. But Toby Fox is amazing, he's the GOAT. Well, he's a fox, but he's also a goat. Megacat Studios. This is one I wasn't super familiar with until I played FNAF Into the Pit. Check out my review of that game. But yeah, they make some amazing indie games. They also are responsible for the recent AVGN 8-bit game. So there were two Angry Video Game Nerd video games previously, but there's a third one now. They came out just this year. FNAF Into the Pit came out last year. That's why I almost didn't include Megacat. But Megacat just came out with a game this year, the AVGN 8-bit game, and that's blowing up too. So like they're very eligible. They're very eligible. Sandfall Interactive, never heard of them. Oh, they made Expedition 33. Oh no, it's a category that Expedition 33's in. That means Expedition 33 is going to win. Nothing else has a chance, right, Jeff? Nothing else has a chance. Then we have Ad Hoc Studios, who made a brand new studio that made Dispatch, my favorite game of all time. This was so fucking close. These are all great nominees. These are all nominees that could possibly win, except for Sandfall. Fuck them. So my winner, I'm going to break my own rules, just like Jeff does all the time. I'm going to break my own rules, and we're going to have a tie, because it was so close. We have Ad Hoc Studios that made Dispatch. They are carrying the torch. They are continuing the legacy of Telltale Games. So they have to win. But Mega Cat is so cool, and again, I love their FNAF game so much. Their FNAF game, which could have just been this shitty, 16-bit, spin-off of Five Nights at Freddy's, it doesn't look anything like Five Nights at Freddy's. It doesn't play anything like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's actually better than most Five Nights at Freddy's games. It's, in fact, I was looking up some of the lists of Five Nights at Freddy's games, and it's always like number 1 or number 2. It's one of the best Five Nights games, and it's a fucking spin-off by a different studio. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, Mega Cat deserves more recognition. That's why I'm giving them the bump. Best indie studio is going to be a tie. My first ever tie between Mega Cat and Ad Hoc Studios. Do we have any other awards to give out? We already did Sexiest Man and Woman. I think I have one or two more awards to give out. Yes, I do. I got a couple more awards, so let's just do this real quick. We'll still get it under the hour mark. We will. I promise. I'm almost done. I promise. Okay, so my game of the year is Dispatch. There's no question. It's the GOAT. It's goated. Please play Dispatch. It's my favorite game of all time. It is a game that defies all odds. People previously got tired of the Telltale model. That's why Telltale went out of business, is people got tired of that model. They don't want to play those games anymore. And Dispatch is also a superhero game. People are tired of superheroes. Superhero, oversaturation, right? Dispatch is both. It's a superhero Telltale game. That should fail horribly. And it's by a brand new studio that nobody knows, and it had no hyper advertising. It should have failed horribly, but it blew up because it is such a fucking good game. Play it. Buy the deluxe edition. You get the fucking free comic books. They're awesome, and they provide interesting backstories. Best score or music. This is where it gets interesting. Unbeatable is an indie game. I think the reason Unbeatable got no lip service this year is because it got delayed several times, and it only just came out. It was supposed to come out last month. It only just came out, so no one had the chance to play it. But Unbeatable is an amazing indie game, and honestly, this is something that I don't really understand. The categories where it says best score and music, what won in Jeff's award ceremony? Expedition 33, of course. But whenever a game wins that category, or best audio, or best score, or best music, I think it has to be a game where the music is part of the gameplay, right? Like something like Hi-Fi Rush or Cadence of Hyrule. You need a game where the music matters so fucking much, where the music is a core part of the gameplay. And that's what Unbeatable is. So that's why I think Unbeatable should have won that category. And I love the character design. Look at this girl, man. She's ripped. She's been hitting she's been practicing her guitar, but she's been clanging and banging. She's been at the Planet Fitness too. Get it, girl. Oh man, yeah. I'll play the game. I'll play it for her. Most anticipated game. Again, I said I don't give a shit about Grand Theft Auto 6. And I mean it. Pragmata, the new Capcom game. I didn't know much about this. This had a new trailer at Jeff's Game Awards, and that's how I kind of first found out about it. Look up Pragmata. It's fucking cool, man. I love Capcom in general, but the graphics are amazing. The gameplay looks really fun. Diana is adorable. I can't wait to play that. That comes out in April of next year, so that can't come out sooner. That is my most hyped game for 2026. Best adaptation. Again, I'm surprised Minecraft starring Emma Myers didn't win because it made $1 billion. But don't tell Emma I said this, but just because a movie makes a lot of money, that isn't necessarily a mark of quality. See the Avatar film franchise. But yeah, don't tell Emma. But my favorite adaptation, I'm gonna break my rules again and give it a tie. Sonic 3, I can't believe neither of these movies were even mentioned. Fuck Last of Us 2. I can't believe these movies weren't even mentioned. Sonic 3, the movie, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie. Both of these movies did very well with audiences and made a lot of money, and they're very good video game movies. They really are. And Vanny's kind of twisting my arm. She really, I needed to include Five Nights at Freddy's 2, even though I like Sonic 3 a little bit more. But that's neither here nor there. Vanny's she has some sway now. She as my co-host, as my bodyguard, holding Joseph in check. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Sonic 3, they are tied for best adaptation of the year. Content creator of the year. I'm actually giving it to 47 Planet Baxterian. I'm surprised that Geoff Keighley didn't mention him. I know he's kind of a smaller YouTuber, but you guys really need to follow this man right now after this stream. Look up 47 Planet Baxterian. He's a beast. He streams every day. He plays games that I've never heard of. He's playing abiotic factor or something. Every day he's like streaming a new game. He's nuts. I can't keep up with. I'm trying to keep up with his content. I'm actually catching up to him in subs, believe it or not, which is crazy to me. That's like catching up to God himself. But anyway, yeah, look him up. He should have won Content Creator of the Year. But if he wasn't eligible, if he wasn't one of the choices, then I would still go with Sexiest Man of the Year, Moist Critical. And then last but not least, we have to talk about the biggest clusterfuck of an event of the year. I'm surprised Geoff Keighley didn't talk about this. TwitchCon, the Emiru controversy. For people who don't know, I'm not even going to go into it. There's so much to say about that. But the TwitchCon was a complete disaster, and the handling of what happened to Emiru was unforgivable. Emiru deserves a Purple Heart Award for what she went through, and the fact that she didn't leave the con, the fact that she like soldiered through, soldiered on, and still did her panel like a couple hours later is absurd to me. This chick deserves a Purple Heart. And man, is that what she looks like? I've never seen her. I've never seen a picture of her. Wow, she is beautiful. She is gorgeous. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I'm changing my answer. I'm changing my answer. I'm sorry, Laura. I'm sorry, Laura Bailey. I'm sorry, Laura. I'm changing my answer. I am changing my answer. I'm sorry, Laura. No, Emiru, get it, girl. Get it, girl. Most gorgeous girl. There we go. So there's sexiest woman. How about, okay, sexiest woman alive is Laura Bailey. Sexiest woman 2025. Let's give it to Emiru. Purple Heart Award, dealing with TwitchCon. Look up my video where I talk about all of that. I'm not going to go into it here. There's so much to say. But this concludes the first ever Slenderboy Game Awards 2025. Woo! I think everything went off without a hitch. Under an hour. Minimal disruptions from Joseph and Geoff Keighley. Let me know what you think. Is this a good 100 sub special? This is the best I can do, so I hope it is. But yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit special to honor the fans, people that have been with me through the thick and thin since episode 1, all of my subs, and hoping I'm gonna get to 200 subs one day, and I'll have to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do for that sub special. So yeah, see ya.